bring it right away.
Great. Hello everybody, welcome back. So we're continuing journey. We are supposed to find the guy who will help us get in the monastery. The young man. Schoolmaster Fresco.
My humble greetings. How may I serve you?
You wouldn't be Carl by any chance?
No. Take care.
How about a bit of grub?
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
Are you Carl by any chance?
I am. Why do you ask?
I've heard that you're bound for the monastery.
Yes, it's true. But I've convinced my faithful guardian, Manfred, to give me a few more days of freedom. Mind you, he won't let me visit the brothel, so instead I'm devoting those days to the demon drink. With whom do I have the honor of speaking?
My name is Henry.
Pleased to meet you, Henry.
Could we speak in private? I have some, issues with the monastery.
Really? Well, I'd love to talk about it, but we won't have privacy as long as Manfred here has his head permanently stuck up my arse. Get rid of him for me, please. Goodbye.
A tankard here.
God grant you health. How may I help you?
You're Manfred, the young lord's guardian?
Indeed I am. Why?
One beer for me.
Would you let us have a word in private for a moment?
I would not. If I put my guard down for a second, he'll be gone. I have to keep my eye on him.
You must have a mighty thirst. Waiting here with him for days, just watching him get drunk, and not having a sip yourself.
There's no doubt I'd enjoy a drink. Heaven knows I deserve it. But if I dull my senses in the slightest,
Give me a minute.
that rogue will surely get up to
Just as
mischief.
you ordered.
So let's drink together. And if you start to feel unwell, I'll keep an eye on him. Like you said, you deserve some fun.
I can see you're a reliable lad. So what shall we have to drink? And while we're at it, why not have a little game?
Take care.
Your fame precedes you, but you won't get the better of me.
There. Satisfied?
One beer. I'll have a beer.
I'll be back in 2 shakes. Certainly, I'll fetch it right away. Certainly, I'll fetch it right away.
Not afraid of anything, eh?
Here you are, and good health.
Not afraid of anything, eh?
All the
Good
best.
harvest. Here, just as you ordered.
No point in pushing it.
All right, all right. I'll be back in 2 shakes.
Finished.
A tankard of ale for me.
Good game. You deserve it.
To the women. God bless them.
I've had enough.
And you said you wouldn't drink today.
Silence! I'm going to sleep. Here's a few coins. Have fun. Tomorrow, we're going to the monastery. Is that clear?
Couldn't you give me more? This isn't even enough for a toothless whore.
It's enough for beer. Good night.
A tankard here.
Manfred's taken care of, just as you wanted.
Thank God. He won't let me out of his sight for a second, and he's itching to get me in the monastery so he can head back home.
Why are you being sent to the monastery?
Like every lusty young lad, I'm fond of fair maidens, but I got too fond of one, and let's just say she was, indisposed for 9 months.
But they don't send you to the monastery for that.
They do, when it's the daughter of the lord of your fief.
Shit.
Shit is putting it mildly. The Lord of Bukover was less than pleased. He knows he'll never marry off his daughter now, so he gave father a choice. Either pay him 1,000 groschen in compensation, along with my balls on a silver platter, or pay 1,000 groschen and put me away somewhere no one will ever see me again.
Why does your guardian never leave your side?
So I don't run away. Of course, I'm free to walk around, but he watches every step I take and won't stop until I'm behind the monastery walls.
Well, he's not watching you now.
What good is that to me when he has all the money, and even my saddle and riding cloak under lock and key?
Here.
Why don't you just run
as
away?
ordered.
Bare-arsed. What the hell would I do? I don't know how to work, I have no money, and that old bastard's even taken my cloak. He has me in the palm of his hand.
But there are poor people everywhere and they get by somehow.
If I have to choose between hunger and poverty on
I'll
one
bring
hand
it
and the
right
monastic
away.
life on the other, I'm afraid the monastery wins. If I could only steal that old man's pouch, I'd be gone faster than lightning and no one would ever see me again.
What if I entered the monastery instead of you?
What? Voluntarily? You don't look like someone who'd want to spend the rest of his days on his knees praying. Well, that's your problem. You can only enter the monastery if you know how to read and write, and if you have a special writ from the abbot. That's a letter confirming they know who you are and that they've accepted you.
So you give me your writ. I'll just tell them I'm you.
Manfred has the writ. You'd have to take it from him, but he only puts it down when he sleeps.
So I'll steal it and then you can disappear.
Disappear? Bare-arsed. What the hell would I do? I don't know how to...
But there are poor people everywhere.
If I had...
That's all then.
May the Lord watch over you. A tankard here. Huh? Huh?
What?
Calm down.
I get.
Okay, he's not here. Where the hell is he? Here? Yeah, here.
I'll be back in 2 shakes.
Bottoms up.
I've got what you need.
Excellent. Give me the purse. You can do as you like with the writ.
Here you are.
Good luck, no matter what you plan on doing with those monks.
I'll be right back.
Best
with
be
that.
on your way now before Manfred finds out that he's been robbed.
And what are you going to do?
I'll be
Get
back
my
in 2
things
shakes.
together and disappear. I want to be
I've
as
only
far
got
away
2
as possible
hands.
before that old man even knows I'm gone. Good luck to you.
Coming right up.
I'm Carl. I'm supposed to enter as a novice.
We expected you sooner. Weren't you supposed to come here with your guardian? It's been so hectic lately, people will keep turning up out of the blue.
He gave me the papers and left me at the gate. You must be used to that, though. I'm not the first novice here, am I?
But that wasn't very considerate of him, was it? It's been so hectic here lately, novices arriving one after the other. The last one didn't even have a letter, and you'd think his backside was on fire, the way he kept looking over his shoulder.
You took him without the letter? You didn't find that suspicious?
My guess is he wanted to hide from someone, but he's a priest and knows how things work in the monastery, so there was nothing to prevent him from being accepted, at least temporarily. You're a different case, though. Are you able to read?
Naturally. I wouldn't be here otherwise.
So then, are you ready to enter the Order of Saint Benedict and renounce forever the temptations of this world?
I am.
Then you must rid yourself of all your worldly possessions. Sell them or give them to the poor and needy or donate them to the monastery. You may not enter this place burdened by worldly goods. Inside the gatehouse is a trunk in which you will find monk's robes. Put away all your possessions and dress yourself in the habit. Then you may rest a while I go and see the prior to arrange matters for your acceptance. God be with you.
So, get the habit. Need. Nope. Yep, nope.
Oh!
Yep. Okay, that's yeah, let's go put it in a chest. It says use, so it's probably it will put stuff in there automatically. We do not want to. Okay, let's get rid of worldly possessions. Everything. Hold on, just to be sure. Do we have everything on the horse? We don't. Okay.
Strange feeling being without all of that. I didn't realise how much I'd grown used to it.
Everything's prepared. It's time for you to take your vows.
Do I really have to wear this?
You'd better get used to it. You'll be wearing it for the rest of your life.
Brothers in Christ, we have gathered here today to welcome a new novice into our midst. Dear brother, forget your former life and embrace your new vocation in the community of the monks of St. Benedict. Opus Dei, obedientia, obprobria, the service of God, obedience, and endurance of all discomfort. These are the cornerstones and succor of our order, which on this day shall become your own. Suscipe me, Domine, secundum eloquium tuum, et vivam. Et non confundas me ab expectatione mea.
Suscipe me, Domine, secundum in loquium tuum vivam, et non confundas me ab expectatione me.
Accept your new name, Brother Gregor, and wear it with honor. Welcome, brother.
Henry sucked at thinking.
Welcome, brother. I am Antonius, a novice like you. I've been instructed to guide you around the monastery and tell you what you can expect and what your duties will be.
Thanks for helping me out during the ceremony. I had no idea what I was supposed to do.
You don't know Latin, do you? Don't worry. Work in the scriptorium will teach you fast enough. Why exactly are you here? Was it your choice? Or did someone force you to come?
I'm being punished. If it were up to me, I'd still be spending my days in taverns and my nights with whores.
I don't envy you. Unfortunately, you're here for the rest of your life.
Would you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a novice and I'm here because I'd make a poor merchant. I like books and I want an education. Although I must say, so far the monastic life's been quite unexpected.
Let's go then.
Good. But before we do, here's a letter directly from the prior telling you all your regular duties from tomorrow onwards. Make sure to read it this evening, so you know how things work. Right, we can go now. Follow me closely. I'll explain everything as we go. Remember one word: discipline. It's your job to work and pray. You serve the Lord now, not your own bodily needs.
Salve Domine.
This is the way to the dormitory, where we all sleep. You'll find a free bed there, which is now yours. Do you know the first thing the monastery taught me? To appreciate sleep. We rise before dawn every day. Takes a bit of getting used to.
He was stomping about like a bear. Now, that must have been Brother Sir Cater. He can't sleep and prays long into the night.
This is the garden, a place for silent contemplation and meditation. Centuries ago, this monastery was founded by the most esteemed of brothers, Saint Procopius. His earthly remains can be found in a cave under the monastery, and his spirit wanders the corridors at night, punishing any misbehaving novices. So beware.
Here are the frattery and scriptorium, together with the library. These are the places where we work. Ora et labora. Pray and work.
As a novice, you must always listen to your superior brethren, and above us monks are the prior and the circators, who punish every infraction. You'll know them by the canes they carry. Do what they say. This is the refectory, where we come together to eat. During meals, you must be silent. Only one brother reads aloud from the Rule of Saint Benedict.
The rule is the only law we recognize, with the exception of those from God himself. If you break any of its precepts, expect a swift punishment. But I've already told you about the circuitous. The library, the pride of our monastery, a trove of learning. We don't just read books here, we also copy them. You too will learn how. And that's all. Today you are still free from duty, but tomorrow you begin work like the others. If you need anything, ask any of the brothers. We'll be glad to help you. And I recommend you get to know the other novices. You already know me. Then there is Siskin, Yodok,
and Lucas.
Thanks for showing me around. There's a lot to learn here. Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's not much to tell. I lived in Vlashim, and after my father died, I found out I wasn't much of a merchant. So I left the shop to my brother and decided to become a monk. It's peaceful here. There's food and lots of time to read.
So you chose to come here?
It may seem strange, but I'm one of the few novices that did. I might be the only one. The truth is, the idea of spending my life in a monastery was more appealing than being cooped up in a greasy old shop.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who's in charge of?
Truthfully, everyone except us. But officially, Abbot Peter. And soon enough, someone else. As if it mattered. Our life will still be work and prayer.
I see. Are there any rifts between the brothers?
Yes. From the moment talk began about electing a new abbot, it's been like a hornet's nest here. Strange you haven't noticed.
Tell me something about electing the abbot.
Abbot Peter is old. When he dies, they'll have to select a new abbot from amongst the brethren. The candidates are John and Nevlas. And if you ask me for my opinion, Nevlas is definitely the right man. Unfortunately, no one cares about my opinion because novices get no say.
Tell me something about life here.
Work, prayer, as if you didn't know. We serve God, and that's the central truth of our lives.
What are the roles of the various monks here?
Someone takes care of the library, someone else the garden. The abbot supervises everyone, and in his absence, the prior. But it's the circators you should worry about. They're the brothers who'll make sure we observe the rule. They can be quite strict, so if you want to avoid getting punished, always act righteously and do your duties honestly.
Who would you choose as the new abbot if you could?
Why should I even think about that when I don't have the right to vote? Gregor, don't go poking your nose into other people's business. You'll sleep better at night.
The AM start of the day? Okay.
Praise be to Christ, brother.
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know, but I've no time for idle chat. I transcribe books from dawn till dusk. I've been doing it for years, and I'll be doing it till the day I die.
What, you do nothing else?
It is my penance and my blessing. And now, brother, if you don't mind, I'd like to get this page finished.
The forbidden books must be in that cabinet.
Books stood in there out for your eyes to see.
What did he do? Oh.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus. I'm telling you, someone's been creeping around in the corridor at night.
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Can you tell me something about the rule of St. Benedict?
7 centuries ago, Saint Benedict of Nursia wrote a collection of monastic rules, which we still follow today. They are read at every meal. The fundamental precepts are obedience, work, and prayer. We're fully devoted to serving God. The outside world, beyond the monastery walls, is foreign to us.
Do you never want to know what's going on out there?
And what should be going on? The sky is just as blue, and the grass is just as green. Perhaps the rulers change, but the greatest ruler of them all will remain unchanged throughout the ages.
Tell me something about life here.
Prayer, work, obedience. That just about sums it up.
What are the roles of the various monks here?
Well, the abbot is the head, but he's not here now. Then there's the prior and the sub-prior, the librarian, the porter, and many others. As a novice, you should be particularly mindful of the circators. They're the ones who maintain discipline and punish bad behavior.
What can you tell me about the novices here?
What can I say? You're here to demonstrate your devotion to God and to live a monastic life. After a year, you can make your vows and become a fully fledged brother.
I meant something specific about the brothers that are here.
But you know them yourself. Yodok is an odd one, but he's diligent and eager. Perhaps too eager. Siskin is good company, but a bit too worldly for a monk. Antonius is hard-working and will help with anything, but prays less than he ought. Lucas is as quiet as a mouse, and no one knows much about him. And then we have you, about who I know nothing.
Can you leave the monastery?
Where would you go? You have everything you need here. Anyway, all the doors here are closed and locked tight, so no one can get in or out.
I'm interested in the monastery's history.
It was founded by Saint Procopius 500 years ago. After his death, heretics occupied the place for some time, but then the order was restored, and brothers of the true faith returned.
Heretics, you say?
They wanted to worship God with some foreign rituals, in a language foreign to God. They were driven away, and their books burned.
Who's in charge of things around here?
Abbot Peter is the administrator of the monastery, but you won't see him. He's always traveling, and on top of that, he's old and infirm. Perhaps the good Lord will bless him with many more years of life.
And what happens when the old abbot dies?
Then we elect a new one.
Are there any candidates to be the new abbot?
Yes, there are. Brothers John and Nevlas. Cursed elections. Since the brothers began talking about them, there's only been strife in the monastery. On one side are brothers who'd like to see John as abbot. On the other, those who support Nevlas. And they seem to be capable of fighting about it forever.
Tell me about John.
John is a circator, and the oldest brother here. It would be only natural if he took the crosier from Peter. He has experience, merit, and composure. He'd lead the monastery wisely.
I'd like to know about Nevlas.
Nevlas manages the monastery's property. He doesn't have the most experience, but his drive and heart are pure, his faith firm, and his ideas rational. Although perhaps he's too keen to change our routines here, which many brothers don't like.
Why does it matter so much who wins?
Because the future direction of the monastery hangs in the balance. The younger brothers feel they have to work more than their superior brothers, and that some brothers are more concerned with their own comfort than with worshipping God. The older brothers take a different view. They say the younger monks want privileges they haven't earned, and each side has its own candidate.
I thought politics weren't part of the monastic way of life.
You're right, but we know nothing besides the monastery, and the abbot's decisions can influence our entire life. Some of the brothers take it very personally.
Who would you like to be the new abbot?
The old abbot isn't dead yet. It's too early to talk about elections. But if I had to choose between the two who are already putting themselves forward, John would be my choice.
Salve. Be well.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
You're right. It stunk like a wine barrel. And it's
I'm Gregor, a novice. I saw you at the ceremony.
I know. It was hard not to notice you.
And you are?
Lucas, also a novice. Don't get upset, but I don't want to talk to you. I'm happiest alone.
I'd like to know something about the other novices.
I don't know much, but ask away.
Tell me about Antonius.
I'd like to, but there's nothing to tell. I've never spoken to him, and I've never asked about him.
You really don't know anything about anyone? Well, thanks anyway.
Don't get upset. I'm sorry I can't tell you more. I just haven't felt like getting to know anyone yet.
Listen, brother. Is there anyone in the monastery who can help me get hold of something, well, something that's not so readily available?
Oh, yes? And what sort of thing are you talking about exactly?
My name's Gregor, a novice.
You can call me Siskin. Are you here of your own free will, or is this a punishment? Although it's not important. Welcome to Purgatory.
Did you say purgatory?
You'll see soon enough. Soon enough.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
Look, nothing against you, but I prefer not to talk about my past.
Are you hiding something? Why are you so reluctant to tell me anything about yourself?
I'm hiding a lousy past that I'd rather forget. I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here. And also because I really hate the question, aren't you the son of the famed Sir Smil Flashka of Pardubitz? I was rich and I had everything. But then my father began to feel his time approaching, so he decided to send a son to the monastery. And, being the youngest, the lot fell on me. I've no head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it. Can you imagine? Me in a monastery. So I took what coin I could from home with me, so I didn't lose out completely.
But you didn't have to come here if you didn't want to.
No, not if I didn't mind being left to beg alms by the city gate. I had one choice, the monastery or nothing. If it had come to that after my father's death, so be it. But to get rid of me while he's still alive...
They must have realized you robbed them.
I donated some of the silver to the monastery when I came in, just to piss them off. I can just see my my siblings, arguing with the abbot to give it back.
And you stashed away the remainder?
Indeed so.
What's your plan with this treasure?
To get out of here as soon as I can. I'll wait another year or two until my hot-headed brothers cool off a bit, and then I'll take the silver and run off somewhere, far, far away from here.
That's all I wanted.
Please, keep it to yourself.
How is it that you don't get any penance for missing more?
I've paid off the circators to turn a blind eye. And the other monks don't notice as long as you show your face there from time to time. No one's too awake at that time of the morning.
I'd be interested to hear what you think about the other novices. What can you tell me about Lucas?
It's a tricky situation with Lucas. No one really knows anything about him. I've tried so many times to talk to him, but he always backs away like a virgin on a wedding night.
Tell me about Antonius.
Oh, if there was a monk I'd recommend as a friend, with of course the exception of myself, it would be Antonius. He has a calm soul, he's easy to talk to, and you can always rely on him.
That's all. It occurred to me you might be the man to ask. I'm looking for some lockpicks. Do you know anyone in the monastery who could help me?
Lockpicks, eh? I won't ask what for. My advice is to try Brother Salarius.
I found this piece of parchment. It looks like it's been ripped out of a book.
Who'd tear up a book like that? Brother Librarian might know.
I'd like to ask you... Well, that's all.
What would you like?
Is it possible to learn something about the other novices in the library?
Only the abbot and the prior keep such records.
And can I see them?
No. The abbot writes and keeps his records in his chambers, and only he and the prior are permitted to read them.
I found this piece of parchment. It looks like it's been ripped out of a book. Do you know what it is?
It appears to be a page torn out of Ovid.
Ovid? What is that? Is it the name of a book?
Not what, but who. Ovid was a great Roman poet. We have a few volumes by him in the library, but one of them vanished one day. Now I believe I can guess what happened. Brother Eustace, may the earth rest lightly on him, was quite narrow-minded when it came to classical literature. If a book had any mention of woman at all, he condemned it as a heretical work. If he'd had his way, all such books would have been burned. Ovid's The Art of Love must have been such a thorn in his side that he stole it from the library, tore it up, and hid the pages wherever he could.
Oh, would you like me to put the book back together again?
Absolutely. Eustace's wits weren't the sharpest, so I'm sure he didn't destroy any of the pages. I imagine he hid them throughout the monastery. It might take you a while to find them all, but when you do, you can rest assured Ovid will return to his rightful place in the library.
Good. I'll look around for it.
Thank you, brother. It's of no great importance, but if you can find all 10 pages, I'll be most grateful.
Where should I look?
If I knew, I wouldn't have asked you to do it. The pages of the book could be hidden anywhere, from the garden to the refectory.
Can you tell me something about the book?
The Art of Love is a sort of manual instructing young people how to find and maintain love. It's a lovely work. I don't understand what bothered Eustace so much about it, but as I was saying, he considered the book to be immoral and tore it up to stop it corrupting any of his brothers.
I'm Gregor and I'm new here.
I know. I saw you in the church during the ceremony. I have a feeling we'll be meeting again soon, and often. You see, I'm a circator.
What does that mean?
I make sure everyone observes the rule, does their work, and that everything is the way it should be.
When it's not the way it should be?
Then we're authorized to mete out punishment. But certainly you won't require correction, will you, brother?
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who's in charge of things around here?
Oh, Abbot Peter is the administrator of the monastery, but you won't see him. He's always travelling on top of that, he's old and infirm. Perhaps the good Lord will bless him with many more years of life.
And what happens when the old abbot dies?
Well, then we elect a new one.
About you in the election, will you tell me more about it?
Ask me anything you want.
Tell me something about Nevlas.
Nevlas is weak and toothless. He's full of hot hair. How anyone could think he'd make a good abbot is beyond me. Enough. I don't even want to hear his name again.
I'd like to know what's going on here.
Well, the young brothers feel they don't have the same rights and responsibilities as we, who have spent much of our lives here. And what of it? Privilege needs to be earned. Nevlas is lying when he says he wants to right wrongs. All he cares about are benefits for himself and his cronies.
I'd like to help you if I can.
There is something you could do. I'm convinced Nevlas must have done something that would greatly damage him if everyone found out. If he was preaching water and drinking wine, for example.
So I should dig something up on him and tell you about it?
Exactly. But I doubt you'll have any luck. Nevlas is too cunning and careful to give anything away.
Once I find something out, I'll tell you. Thank you for answering.
Salve, be well.
Servus.
More like infuriating. A horrible, abominable waste of parchment. I remember back. Young people have no respect for our new abbot.
No. Peter has a strong constitution. He'll still be on this earth.
I wish all good health upon him. But I want change, and only a new abbot can bring.
Greetings, brother. I'm Gregor, and I'm new here.
Greetings to you, brother. I'm Yodok, the oldest of the novices. I hope you'll like it here in the monastery and that you won't get into trouble.
Trouble?
You're young, perhaps intemperate. You might easily stray from the rules of the order. I suggest you get to know the older monks. You never know when it might come in handy.
I'm interested in the other novices. What can you tell me about Siskin?
Oh, he's always got a smile on the new friend. But I reckon he don't belong in the monastery. He spends more time dreaming of the world outside than tending to his duties. I'm surprised he hasn't been thrown out already. If it was up to me, he'd be out on his ear right away.
Sounds like you don't have much time for him.
I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. Believe me, Gregor, he's hiding something from us. In fact, now I come to think of it, I haven't seen him at morning prayers for a while.
Do you know anything about Antonius?
Only that he came to the monastery voluntarily, because he didn't want to work in his father's shop. Antonius is all right. You can rely on him. He won't betray your confidence. He's always happy to help, which is more than can be said for the other brothers.
I'm interested in Lucas.
Nobody knows much about Lucas. He keeps himself to himself. If you ask me, he's got something to hide. I'd keep well clear of him if I was you.
Do you have any grounds for suspecting him of something?
Quite a lot. And also none at all. The circators who make the rounds despise him, and they'd never punish anyone without cause.
What can you tell?
Oh, I'm surprised he hasn't been...
Can you tell me something about yourself?
I would if there was anything noteworthy to say. I'm just the ordinary son of a landowner, now a monk. There's nothing in my past, present, or future that anyone could find interesting.
Why did you join the monastery?
Because it was better than living in poverty. As the youngest son, I'm not entitled to inherit my father's estate, but he was kind enough to sell off some cattle and send me here. And you know what? I'm glad to be here. It's better than mucking out manure.
I'd like to ask you... Who's in charge?
Truthfully, everyone except us. But officially, Abbot...
Are there already
Brothers John and Nevlas. But the others have been fighting...
Why can't novices vote?
They say we don't have enough experience to decide about anything. Don't worry. We'll get our chance.
Why is who wins so important?
We're young and we'll spend the rest of our lives here. And the abbot decides everything about our lives. Didn't it ever occur to you how powerful he is?
Well, that's all.
Talk to me, brother.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Are there ever any disagreements between the brothers?
Unfortunately, yes. The biggest quarrels right now are about the election of the new abbot. They can already see poor Peter in his grave.
Tell me something about electing the abbot.
The old abbot is practically on his deathbed. There are two candidates. Half the monastery wants John, the other half Nevlas, and there's no chance they'll come to an agreement. But you've probably already noticed the atmosphere around here.
Right, gotta find the guy with the lockpicks. Okay. Go to the bed. Let's see if I can. God damn it, I got lost. Okay, which one is my bed? This. Yes. Gra- Various studies. Okay. Morning prayer.
What would you like?
I'm looking for something a little unorthodox.
And what would that be exactly?
I'm looking for lockpicks.
Lockpicks? And what would you like those for?
I'd like to practice opening locks, just for the fun of it.
Well, why not? So you heard I used to be a burglar, did you? I put it all behind me as soon as I took the vows. But I do have a few lockpicks left. I'll trade them for food. Get me a bite to eat, and you can have your lockpicks. Can't say fairer than that, can I?
Okay, so it works like trading. Okay. Let's trade him as much stuff as we can. Okay, we're gonna need a lot more. Okay, we're gonna need to steal a lot more food. He values those lockpicks quite heavily. Right. Let's go try finding some food. Hold on.
You've seen us drinking here, so either join in or swear you won't tell a soul. You wouldn't want to end up like Lucas now, would you?
All right. I wouldn't mind some wine.
That's more like it. Sit down and have a drink, my lad.
Okay, so you guys are just
Quite right,
drinking?
brother. Just sit down and drink with us. When the wine runs out, Yodok will fetch more.
And what is it, brother?
What are you doing here?
What does it look like?
But we're all monks.
Youngster, when you're as old as I, you'll understand.
But you're the cicators. You're the ones meant to be keeping order here. How can gambling and drinking be a fitting part of a monk's life?
Well, if you really want to know, see for yourself.
All right. Have it your way.
Gregor, talk to me.
You mentioned Yodok. What does he do for you?
Nothing much. He's just a little suckling like you. He'll do whatever it takes to stay on our good side. Sometimes we make use of him when there are errands to run.
Where'd you get the wine from? I thought the monastery cellars were guarded.
So they are, but this wine isn't from the monastery. Listen, lad, would you help us out with something? This cask is almost empty, and we need a new one. We're a bit old for such exertions. But you, on the other hand...
I'll help you. What do I need to do?
Ha! I knew it. Help novice Yodok arrange for a new cask. Talk to him first thing in the morning, and by tomorrow night the cask can be on the table.
All right, I'll talk to him. Let's drink.
That's the idea. And what should we drink to?
How about to the abbot?
To the abbot it is. But wait a minute, lad. Which one?
To Abbot John.
That's more like it.
I'll be going, brothers. It's been good to sit with you a while.
Do us a favor, brother. Stay a little longer and have another drink with us. Here, some wine for you.
Oh, all right. But that's the last cup. Let's drink.
That's the idea.
How about to the abbot?
To the abbot.
To Abbot
That's more like...
I'd like to ask you, who would you like to...
I've thought long and hard about it, and I've decided to support John.
I'll be going, brothers.
Do us a favor, brother.
Thanks, but I won't have any...
As you wish, brother. Ah, down the hatch.
Every goblet treat. The truth.
No wonder. With our throats going dry all day.
Next time we'll get the Yorick to...
And it should be time for the morning prayers. Yeah, okay, I honestly don't get it. It should be 3 a.m.
Peace be with you, brother.
You frightened me. Why aren't you in the dormitory?
Go to the church for prayer and mass.
Not now, brother.
Okay. How do we start this? Okay, looks like everybody's gathering.
Brother, you were somewhere you shouldn't have been. Don't you know your place? Don't you know...
I've had enough of this.
You dare resist?
I apologize.
Now, show me what...
Okay, did I fuck this up? Okay, if we screw this up somehow. You have seen what... Honestly don't get what happened. Okay, I'll try to reload it after we... Was it because of trespassing in the kitchens. It's the habits. Let's reload that one.
Quite right, brother. Just sit down and drink with us. When the wine runs out, Yuruk will fetch more. What would you like?
What are you doing?
What does it look?
But
youngs.
But you're the.
If you really.
All right.
Talk to me.
You mentioned
nothing much.
Where'd you?
Listen.
Oh, all right. Let's drink.
That's the idea.
How about to the
to
Abbot John?
That's more.
I'll be going. Thanks, but I will.
As you wish.
What's there left to drink to?
To our fresh young novices.
Yeah, I think it's doesn't actually track properly. I mean, we woke up at 3 a.m., which should be the correct time.
Peace be with you, brother.
Now we're supposed to attend the mass. The church. Okay. What actually is supposed to happen? No. Then it'd be like, I could skip time a bit. Okay, looks like the mess is over. What do you think?
Can't you see? We're at...
Okay, so you need to skip time actually to do stuff.
Talk to me, brother.
Talk to me, brother.
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
I was talking last night with the brother Cicatas. It seems you're to fetch them a cask of wine, like last time.
Well, yes, it's true.
I'd like to help you.
Would you really do it? To get hold of the wine, we'll have to leave the monastery for a bit. I know it's forbidden, but we've no other option. If wine started going missing here, someone would notice. But to leave the monastery, we need the keys. And only the prior has those.
Wait a moment. Are you saying I'm supposed to steal the prior's keys so I can go and steal wine somewhere else?
Well, you see why I don't want to do it myself now, do you? I don't have what it takes. I can't get those keys, but you could. Or you might be able to pick the locks.
But you've done it once before, haven't you?
Last time the prior was sick, and he left the monastery keys in the Circator's care. So they unlocked the gates for me. This time we'll have to steal the keys.
How can I get hold of the keys, do you think?
I don't know, but it might be possible to do this without them. Brother Celerius, the cellar keeper, used to be a burglar.
Do you think he'll want to take...
No, but he could give some advice, or maybe get some lock... Once you have the key or some lockpicks, come and see me.
Knowing that it is written, the fool is not corrected with words. And again, beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver his soul from death. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on daily manual labor. Idleness is the enemy of the soul. Therefore, the brethren should be occupied at certain times in manual labor, and again at fixed hours in sacred reading.
He's supposed to
that
sit.
end, we think that the times for each may be prescribed as follows. From Easter until the calends of October. When they come out from prime in the morning, let them labor at whatever is necessary until about the 4th hour. And from the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply themselves to reading. After the 6th hour, having left the table, let them rest on their beds in perfect silence, or if anyone may perhaps want to read, let him read to himself in such a way as not to disturb anyone else. Let none be said rather early, at the middle of the 8th hour, and let them again do what work has to be done until Vespers. Weak or sickly brethren should be assigned a task or craft of such a nature as to keep them from idleness, and at the same time not to overburden them or drive them away with excessive toil. Their weakness must be taken into consideration by the abbot. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the spirit of silence. Let us do what the prophet says. I said, I will guard my ways, that I may not sin with my tongue. I have set a guard to my mouth. I was mute and was humbled and kept silence even from good things. Here the prophet shows that if the spirit of silence ought to lead us at times to refrain even from good speech, so much the more ought the punishment for sin make us avoid evil words. Therefore, since the spirit of silence is so important, permission to speak should rarely be granted even to perfect disciples, even though it be for good, holy, edifying conversation. For it is written, in much speaking you will not escape sin. And in another place, death and life are in the power of the tongue. For speaking and teaching belong to the master. The disciple's part is to be silent and to listen. And for that reason, if anything has to be asked of the superior, it should be asked with all the humility and submission inspired by reverence. But as for coarse jests and idle words, or words that move to laughter, these we condemn everywhere with a perpetual ban. And for such conversation we do not permit a disciple to open his mouth. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the abbot. Therefore, when anyone receives the name of abbot, he ought to govern his disciples with a twofold teaching. That is to say, he should show them all that is good and holy, by his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed, from him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another, unless it be one whom he finds better in good works or in obedience. And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but, since he has the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear. Remembering the fate of Heli, the priest of Silo. The well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient characters he should curb at the very beginning of their ill-doing by stripes and other bodily punishments. Knowing that it is written, the fool is not corrected with words. And again, beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver his soul from death.
Okay, we have to... Okay, we have eaten, so... Right. Work in a factory. What levels? Okay. Here.
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. I saw you at the ceremony. My name is Nebulus, and I'm the provost here. I'm in charge of the monastery's property, as well as handling trade with the outside world.
That means you get to leave the monastery?
No, not at all. I just write lists and send them out.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm the provost of this monastery. It's my job to... But in reality, I spend all my time making sure my brother's gluttony and the construction of a new church don't swallow up the few resources we have left.
Is there anything I could help with?
You know, there is.
Perhaps you've heard that Abbot Peter is gravely ill. I'm interested in medicine, and I know there's a cure for the abbot's ailment. With your help, I could find out the details, and together you and I could give old Peter a few more years to do good. What do you say?
What do you need me for?
In order to get the recipe for this medicament, a few rules will need to be broken. Now you know most of the brothers believe every illness is a message from God, and that it's not our place to deny his will. I, however, think if God sent us not just illnesses, but also the medicine to cure them, then it's our duty to relieve people of their suffering. The cure for Abbot Peter's illness could be contained in one of the books in our library, but it will certainly be amongst the libri prohibiti, the forbidden books, those we aren't permitted to read.
Why are they forbidden?
Because they contain occult and demonic practices, witchcraft and all manner of evil. Or so some people claim. It's nonsense, of course. This is nothing but a book of medicine, albeit one written by a pagan. Ibn Sina, also known as Avicenna, is universally acknowledged to be a wise man. But here, at some point, someone decided his book is the work of a Saracen devil and must be kept under lock and key. Since then, no one can even talk about the book. But the three wise men were from the East, were they not?
That's the book we've stolen, isn't it?
Where can I find it?
In the library, there's a large cabinet with a lock on it. The forbidden books are inside. You'll easily recognize what you're looking for. The cover has not only a Latin inscription, but also Saracen letters. Bring it to me, but leave the other books there. No one will notice if one book disappears, but if more were to vanish, someone would certainly begin to look into it, which is exactly what we don't want.
Is there anything you can tell me that would help?
There's a key to the cabinet in the prior's chambers. The librarian should have another one, or you can...
Why can't you do it yourself?
Because I'm one of the highest-ranking monks here, and one day I'd like to become abbot. Can you imagine me crawling around and...
You could just ask.
Do you honestly think I haven't tried? Unfortunately, Librarian Cyril is a stubborn ass.
I'm ready.
One more important thing. There's always someone in the library during the day. To pass unwatched, you'll need to go... They say Brother Solarius understands locks. But don't tell him why you need it. We'll soon have the election of the...
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. You'll find ingredients in the chests next to it. Concoct 2 buck's blood potions. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let me know when you're done so I can check them.
Ah, this looks like the Saracen language. Ibn al-Hassan. That's who I'm looking for. Avicenna.
Yeah, okay, we kind of stole it before that. So, not sure if we can actually bust it over. We don't actually know the recipe for it though. Do we?
What is it, brother?
I'd like to...
Did we find it maybe? Drunk? No. Right, because I don't know the recipe for it. Huh. Okay. That's a problem. That doesn't seem to have a... I'm supposed to make a potion I can't actually brew. It's a bit of a problem. I mean, I can look it up on Wiki, I suppose, but... Yeah, there must be a recipe somewhere. Okay, I'm gonna look it up on the wiki. This doesn't... That seems like the easiest way to do it. Okay, start the alchemy. Let's see. What do we need? We need the oil. What do we need? Comfrey, dandelion, and St. John's. Okay. Let's grab that. With comfrey. Oil. Okay, let's do something else. Can we brew something, anything over these? let's brew some potions for the what's his name? Solarius. The chamomile, 2 doses. Oil for 1 turn. Yeah, we'll grind 2 mints, boil the mints. We definitely did not know Marigold the concoction. You'll need water. Okay, water, a handful of nettles, drop the nettles, leave to cool, drop the marigold. The Valerian for a turn.
What would you like?
I've finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Spectacular, Gregor. You've found your talent. Soon enough, you'll be teaching the other novices.
Can we leave now? No, we cannot. Okay. No, we cannot leave. Okay. Right, let's continue cooking, I guess. Work in the library, okay. 12. Let's brew some more. Is there someone that's more expensive? Yeah, Lazarus is definitely the best one. Okay. Let's make some Lazarus to sell. Right. Report to there. This place is a tangled mess of things.
Peace be with you, brother.
Larius, there you are.
What do you desire?
Brother, I've a favor to ask. And I think...
I see.
Well, yes.
That won't be easy, I can tell you that straight off.
Is there any other way to get out of here?
The door out of the monastery is like any other. Only the lock's more complicated than most.
There's something else.
Brother.
I'm looking...
And...
I'm looking...
Lock?
I'd like to...
Well, I'll try...
You have to sell him everything so we can buy lockpicks. Sell that, sell everything we have. Pay.
Let's have a word.
Finally.
Yeah, we got some lockpicks. Nice. Now, let's head to the scriptorium. Here. Yeah.
What is it, brother?
I'm here to work.
Good. This is most likely the first time you've ever done this in your life. But it's easier than you think. Just a bit of practice and learning Latin. Here's the original, and here are the blank parchments on which you'll copy what you read in the original. Is that clear? Then you may begin, and try not to make a mess of it.
Oh, you're interested in what's inside?
It's the
Forbidden books, written by the devil himself.
okay, it's here. Okay. I've read the book before tonight. Yeah. Or you can. Is the book empty? Okay, I'm supposed to transcribe something from an empty book. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's broken.
Can you read?
Apparently I cannot read. Can I get the books? I'm convinced it's broken.
Don't even look at that cabinet. It contains forbidden books.
Okay.
Don't even look at that cabinet. It contains forbidden books. Get away from that cabinet. The books stored in there aren't for your eyes to see. You're interested in what's inside? Forget about it. Ah, Gregor.
I'd like to ask.
Praise be to Christ.
I'd like to ask.
Can't you see I'm working? Get away from that cabinet. The books
Talk to me.
aren't for your eyes to see.
I'd like to ask. Who would you like?
The old abbot isn't dead yet. It's too early.
Who would you?
John. There's no other candidate. Never.
Who would you like?
John, definitely. Compared to him, Nevertheless is young.
Are there ever any?
Unfortunate.
I understand. Who would you?
Brother John. Obvious.
It's just variation on the same topic.
What would you like?
Peace be with you, brother.
We have to stay here, I guess, until that time. The church. Right. Flowers.
Cannot suffer any delay in executing it. But this very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation. Delay, lukewarmness, punishment due to murmurers, unless
Seriously.
What do they do in that kitchen? I bet they keep the tastiest portions for themselves and give us the slop that's left over.
It's definitely gone downhill. I remember back when we ate like kings.
And the wine, those were the days.
You'll see. Things will get better with the new abbot.
So,
What do you desire?
About those keys.
Did you get them?
Yes, I have them.
In that case, come before midnight to the cloister garden. I'll be waiting for you there, and we'll head off.
We have some free time now, do we? If I recall correctly the book, we should have some free time. Free time before retiring. 9 PM rest and night time. Okay. Right, let's try to find the pages.
He can't sleep and prays long into the night.
Peace be with you, brother.
Salve. It's a mystery, but one that'll be soon solved. It's a wonder the prior doesn't check everyone's breath.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
Praise be Jesus.
Someone really reeked of patents. You're right. Wine barrel in there. And it's not the first time.
It's a mystery.
It's a one surprise to me, but one that will be soon solved. It's a wonder the prior doesn't check everyone's breath in the morning.
Multiple.
Brother, this isn't a place for you.
Apologize, I do apologize.
My Agnes has been gone now for 4.5 years, and still it seems like
Somewhere, somewhere in here. That's nervous.
What would you like?
I'm still curious about this treasure trove of yours.
It's no big terrible secret. Really, it isn't. I just go and read during services. There's no time otherwise. I mean, at other times I don't get to read what I like. And I keep it under the slab so the others don't find it.
What kind of a book is it?
I found it here in the library. It was on a shelf where it should never have been. So I hid it to read later. It's the Necronomicon. Ghosts, demons, and invocations of powers beyond our world. Only it's written in a strange language that I can't really make sense of. All bara this and bara that. Who knows what it means? I tried to count the syllables, read the words backwards, but nothing. I'm not getting anywhere with it.
Oh, I'm not too sure what the prior or the cicada would say about a book like that. Actually, what anyone would say. It sounds quite prohibited.
Prejudice. But you're right, it is prohibited. For no good reason, though. Has knowledge ever done anybody any harm?
You're right. Knowledge should never be prohibited.
Oh, I'm glad you agree. Just take a look at the book. Maybe you'll be able to make... Just please don't tell anyone about the book. If the brothers learn that I took it from the library and hid it...
I'll leave you be. Don't worry, I won't follow you again.
Thank you. And please...
I'd be interested to hear what you think about the other novel. I'm interested in...
What could interest you about him?
That doesn't sound...
It wasn't meant to.
That's all.
In the middle of the night, I saw the brother cicadas drinking and playing dice.
How marvelous. Did you join it?
Siskin? I thought it wasn't allowed.
If the cicadas can...
That's not how it works, though, is it?
I know. A double standard.
About that magic potion. What do you plan on...
I don't really know yet.
Would you share the rest?
You don't even have to ask. It's thanks to you I have it. Listen, old wives' ointment, which witches use upon the Sabbath, and therein damn their souls to the
devil. Sure we skipped something somewhere.
A fistful of marigold, a fistful of belladonna, and a fistful of lover's knot. Boil the lover's knot for one turn. Drop the ground marigold in the cauldron and boil for another turn. Drop the ground belladonna into the cauldron and boil for another turn.
Sounds quite poisonous.
And it probably is, but I'm
pretty sure we skipped over something somewhere. That's the door outside, okay.
But they'll learn. We were no different.
Right, in the evening, you go meet him in the monastery gardens. Okay. Please.
Praise be to Christ.
Here I am.
Just in time to manage it all. Once we're outside, we'll need to be careful and we'll need to be quick. If we're not back before sunrise, someone will realize we've gone, and there'll be hell to pay.
Where exactly are we going for the wine?
Next to the monastery is the house of the custodian, a baron who provides military protection to the monastery. We'll take the wine from him.
What particular wine are the cicadas after?
They want some Znaimo wine, but there's no way we'll be able to tell what's what. We'll just grab a cask and head off. I doubt the custodian would have anything of poor quality in his cellar.
The brothers will complain.
They'll complain even more if they've nothing to drink at all.
Why go to all that trouble? Aren't the monastery wine cellars full?
They are, but Brother Celerius keeps records of all the casks, and the prior checks them. They'd investigate if any went missing. Whereas, if someone outside loses the odd cask, they're not going to suspect us monks.
That does sound reasonable. How do we do that once we're there? Will we need to break into the custodian's cellar?
We needn't break in anywhere. It's on the ground floor and usually unlocked. It holds supplies for the whole craftsman's yard, and every now and again, someone comes in to fetch something. The only thing we have to make sure is that nobody sees us.
I'm ready. We can head off.
All right. You have the outside keys, so get unlocking.
It's the law.
What's going on there?
Vessels with quicksilver in them.
Damned Sigismund, the lawlessness he brought to this land. We'll have no peace till the afterlife. Have you been to Ujits to visit your parents' grave?
Aye. This year it's 12 summers gone since they died.
Time flies, eh? My Agnes has been gone now for 4.5 years. Still, it seems like only yesterday she went to the good Lord.
Aye, you're right there. Life is short. God be with you.
Brother? You were somewhere you...
Very well, brother.
Now, show me what you have on you.
Okay, this is seriously bugged. I mean, they arrest me because I brought them the stuff they wanted. What the hell? You get a wine.
I'll drink to that. So, to John, the future abbot, and a pox on Nevlis.
That killjoy? He'd love to have us all under his thumb. Fat chance.
Don't worry. Those youngsters will wise up once they hear all about him.
Will they believe it?
Even if just 2 or 3 of them do, it'll help us. So, to Abbot John.
To Abbot John.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
Ah, Gregor, talk. Brother, you were somewhere. You dare.
Seriously? Okay, what the hell is this? This quest is broken. That's... I mean, he arrests me for bringing him the stuff he wants. And you can talk your way out of it. It's the solitary confinement.
Service.
It's to the outside world. So to the outside. Yeah, okay, the whole area is weirdly bugged. You can skip over entire sections somehow. Yeah, okay, I'm not sure really. Not really sure what's going on there.
Brother?
What the fuck? What the hell is going on? Okay. I think this quest is completely broken.
Very well, brother.
I still need... You have a weapon. Here. In the mon... You failed to complete your...
My God! Over there!
Yeah, I think I screwed up a lot of the quest by doing the Necronomicon. Because that required me to go here and loot most of the stuff.
In the night, I overheard this.
Oh no. So it's still...
Lucas, what's going...
What do you think? Just like you...
You should have joined them.
Join them in their sinful pursuits.
I warned them if they didn't stop, I'd go and tell the prior.
You've picked the wrong people to make enemies of, Lucas, they told me.
Is there something I can...
Would you? I think...
I'm not afraid of...
Brother, may the great...
I'd like to know...
I don't...
Tell me about...
I'd like to, but there's...
What can you tell...
Not a lot.
Do you know anything...
I don't.
Are you joking?
Why should...
I'd have thought you might...
Don't get upset.
If we can make it through without breaking again.
Brother?
No.
You were somewhere... You...
Yes, brother. That's... I'm
You failed to...
Okay, that... This whole quest is broken. Completely broken. I mean, he arrests me for nothing. I can't complete this quest.
Praise be.
Can we maybe, like, not go there so they don't catch us? I don't know, I'm trying to figure out a way to get through it.
And then you is it, I'm not afraid.
Gregor.
Brother Cicator, my friend.
What would you...
No, I'm here because of Novice Luke.
Only because that weasel wants to put an end to our night...
I'd appreciate it if you treat him like a brother again.
If he isn't afraid of us, there's nothing to stop him.
He hates you because you trample all over him and he has nothing to lose.
Fine. Beware of Lucas.
What do you mean?
He's a sodomite, a sinner. He might try to get you into the habit, or out of it.
I didn't know that. Thanks for the warning.
Okay, let's try to let it pass without waiting, because I think that's what triggers these two guys.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus. Not now, brother.
Praise be to...
Okay, it seemed to have worked.
Brother, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be...
Come now, brother. You know very well that monks can't survive on...
This time I'll look the other... Brother, you were some...
What the fuck? Okay, screw this game. Screw this. I will have to reload it
Very
and
well, brother.
You...
I will have to try to complete it like from the beginning, I guess. Okay, because this is like completely broken. Well, okay, so I guess thanks for watching and we'll be trying this another time. Because clearly
Welcome,
this
brother.
doesn't work.
I am
So yeah, thanks for watching and I will be trying this over again. Trying to not do something stupid that will get me thrown out.